Hey there everyone, and welcome to another video. This is Pac-Man in SDL2 and C++. In case you guys don't know, over the past year I've been taking dual credit courses at St. Lawrence College. Well, this is one of the assignments that I had in my previous one, which was SDL2 game development. Pac-Man was the first game I have ever made, no, I did not make Pac-Man. It was not my first game. We're just gonna roll with that. Pretend I didn't say that. I'm not going to re-record this, because this is my fourth attempt. Anyway, Pac-Man was the first game that I have ever played as a child. I played it on PlayStation 2, of all consoles. And while our final lab was to do Frogger, I decided to do Pac-Man because it gave me a chance to program my childhood. And in this little adventure of mine, I learned multiple new algorithms. I learned how to solve dead ends in mazes. I learned how to actually generate mazes using a depth first search algorithm and reverse backtracking. I've also learned how to do proper collision detection. And I learned how to do grid alignment when moving Pac-Man around the maze. And I learned how to program a live system. Let's restart the game because I just found a bug. Every map. Now I'm big on procedural generation. I hate having to handcraft maps and things like that. So every map, or every time you restart the game, you get a different map, a different maze. So, and this maze does not have any dead ends. Well, one wide dead ends, that is. There are some maps that generate that don't let you get to the ghost pen, which is kind of counterintuitive. And there are some maps that generate with areas that you cannot get to. Well, that's a bug with the algorithm, and I'm not entirely sure how to fix that without doing an entirely new depth first search algorithm during the dead end fixing phase, which I could do, but it's not my main focus right now. My main focus is getting things like score and everything done. There's no ghost AI, because I don't know how to program that, and it's not part of the lab. But yeah, this is Pac-Man in SDL. I'm kind of really proud of it, despite it missing a lot of features from the arcade game. There's a little bit of a bug with input. If you hold down the key, or hold down a direction button, sometimes Pac-Man will stop dead in his tracks, like this. If you hold it down, it'll continue when you let go. And sometimes he'll go see Trevor Phillips from Grand Theft Auto 5 and just inject a load of meth and, yeah, start going at 3 times the speed. That is a bug with the grid alignment code. And the grid alignment code, there was a bug where it was insanely hard to go through these intersections. So the grid alignment code was intended to fix that. Well, there's now a bug in the grid alignment code where if you hold down a key, it tries to align you to the grid, but sometimes that means that you'll get stuck in place as you hold down the key. You keep on getting teleported to the same spot, and sometimes you'll get teleported to the next spot over, which results in Pac-Man going extremely fast across the maze. But yeah. So there is a live system, though I can't really show that off because of a bug. There's a score system, but I can't show that off because I haven't gotten text rendering in yet, so you can't actually see the score. I'm not recording desktop audio, but there is background music. It is royalty-free death metal because I had to. I had to be the first programmer ever to write Pac-Man in SDL2 with death metal in the background. So yeah, I did that. And there is sound effects. Pac-Man will make a sound as he eats a pellet, and the ghosts, or Pac-Man will make a sound when he gets eaten by a ghost. I can actually resize the maze in the code. I'm gonna show that off. because I'm actually in the spot of the code where I can do that. So I'm gonna go with 20 rows. I hope that the maze stays on screen, and I'm gonna do 17 columns. Wait for the game to recompile. There we go, now the map is much bigger. Now if you try to count the amount of rows and columns in the map, you'll notice there are a lot more than 20 rows and a lot more than 17 columns. That's because it is actually, when it gets to generating the actual maze objects to the pellets and everything, it multiplies those values by 3. The row and column values that you change in the code are actually to do with the actual depth first search. Oh god, this is a weird grid alignment bug. I actually can't get, I can't, there we go. That's, the rows and columns actually affect the amount of cells that generate in the depth first search algorithm phase of the maze generation, so that's what that means. But it also means the more rows and columns you have, the more, or the bigger a maze you actually have, so, yeah. But yeah. I'm not too sure what else there's to show. So I'm just gonna see if I can finish the entire maze. One thing I will say is that that the walls are rendered within SDL using simple solid rectangles. Each tile is 14 by 14 pixels. The pellets and the ghosts are hand-drawn by me using the original game sprite sheet as a reference guide. I drew them in MS Paint. Don't ask why I used MS Paint, because the answer is I was lazy. And my code actually deals with transparency, or deals with making the background transparent. The game is pretty much completely object-oriented. Everything's a game object. And the Pac-Man sprite itself is actually generated by a C# program procedurally. The program asks you how many frames of animation you want, and what size of a sprite you want, and from there it is able to use system.drawing to generate a sprite bitmap, a sprite sheet. So that's handy. Which means I did not have to draw Pac-Man from scratch in MS Paint. I drew it with a program using the backend code that MS Paint uses. Anyway, there are a few grid alignment bugs like that. But yeah, let's try to eat every pellet in the maze. There are no super pellets yet. There is the maze generator does support generating them, but I just haven't added them to the game yet, so there are no super pellets. You can't eat ghosts yet. Alright. Gotten a good majority of the maze eaten. Grid alignment bugs. I will say that that this code will be open source when I am done with it and I have submitted it to the college, or to my professor. So, yeah. if you guys want to look at the code, maybe you want to use it for your own thing, I am going to license it under WTFPL, which basically means abiding by the license means literally doing, and I'm quoting the license here, doing whatever the fuck you want with it. So I don't you don't even need to credit me. Just do what you want with it. Yeah. I like that license. So yeah, I will WTF public license this. So if you guys want to look at the code, use it in your own game, whatever, go ahead. Just don't use it to cheat on a college assignment. That's all I ask. The license doesn't cover that, but, yeah, I guess if you do cheat, don't make a video of it, because I will find it. And I will know that you used my code to cheat, but not my fault if your professor finds out and you get flunked. Alright. Wow, this maze is big. Ah! Yikes. These grid alignment bugs are the most annoying bugs in the game. But they're basically timing bugs. If you press the key a little too early when you're turning these two wide corridors, just be prepared for a grid alignment bug. Oh. One more thing. Some maps generate with places that you cannot actually get to. That is a bug with the dead end detection code. I'm not entirely sure how to fix that without doing a entirely new, or doing a second depth first search pass. So, or on the a second depth first search on the final maze. So you'll just have to deal with that. There isn't actually any code for level complete, so even if you did eat all the pellets like that, you wouldn't get anything. So, and I'll leave it to someone else once this thing goes open source to implement that, because I would like to work on PeaceNet. But we're getting close to getting to the end. Alright, we gotta find a way to get up there. Ah! Grid alignment. Not as bad as it was yesterday before I implemented the grid alignment code. But it is annoying. Alright, let's be damn careful around here. If I get a grid alignment bug, I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. So yeah, don't die. Anyway, that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. And this time, I was recording audio. Good. And by audio, I mean microphone, not desktop. But yeah, provided I can actually find my mouse, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.